So, I noticed that the brand new Toy Story 5 is in development for some time around some sort of confirmation. According to the confirmation, I understood that Toy Story 5 is still in development. But I understood that there's something interesting about the official release date of that said movie. Anyways, to avoid the Emmys, let's review Toy Story. Toy Story, which was a 1995 animated feature film, which was directed by John Lasseter in his feature directorial debut, which was produced and released by both Disney and Pixar, which is considered to be the first CGI animated movie ever made. Even though this movie was written by Joss Whedon of Buffy the Vampire Slayer fame, as well as being involved in Angel, Andrew Stanton, Joel Cohen, and Alex Sokolow. Even though the story, which was written by Lasseter, had helped forces to be with Pete Docter and Joel Ranft. But the music, however, is played by Randy Newman and was produced by Bonnie Arnold and Ralph Guggenheim. Even though it was executive produced by Steve Jobs and Edwin Catmull, which features the voices of Tom Hanks, Don Rickles, Jim Varney, Wallace Shawn, John Ratzenberger, Annie Potts, Ali May, John Morris, Lois Metcalf, and Eric Von Detten, which takes place in a world where toys come to life when humans are absent, which focuses on a chemistry between a pull-string cowboy doll named Woody and a space astronaut action figure, Buzz Lightyear, as they develop, but Woody develops jealousy towards Buzz when he becomes Andy's favourite toy. Even though, following the success of Tin Toy from 1988, it was said to have been a more edgier take on what this movie was going to have. In this original Black Friday script of what this movie was going to have, Billy Crystal was originally the first choice to get involved in portraying Buzz Lightyear, but then he declined because he didn't felt quite right to play a space ranger. Eventually, early scripts that feature a Barbie doll would play a major role as an action girl interest, turned love interest, when ending sequence involves when Buzz and Woody chasing the movie truck, where Barbie drives her Corvette off the truck to rescue Woody and Buzz from Sid's dog, a la Sarah Connor from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. But Mattel, however, declined on the bastards because it didn't make sense. If they didn't want Barbie to have a defined personality, what children could imagine her personality traits on their own. Even though Barbie got dropped from the script, eventually her character was reworked into now Bo Peep. Even though, during development of that said movie, there were loads of actors that were considered to be for that role. Even though despite being the highest grossing movie of 1995, there are some two actors I can think of. Mom, I noticed that both Leonardo DiCaprio and Jim Carrey were the first choices to portray both Woody and Buzz.
No, they would have been rubbish.
They felt to...
Alan was so good.
Yeah, and Tom Hanks.
And Tom Hanks was just perfect.
They were the wrong choices, from our opinion.
DiCaprio wouldn't have been good at it.
He would have been good at...
He's only good at Titanic.
Yeah, I think Leo DiCaprio turned down the role of Woody because of his commitment to the quick and the dead.
Oh.
I saw that movie.
Yeah, was it good?
Yeah, it was good.
How much do you rate it?
Well, let me just say 9.1 out of 10.
That's really high. That must have been a brilliant movie.
Yeah, but I noticed that Bill Murray and Chevy Chase were also considered for the role of both Slinky and Porkchop, while Rex Moranis was considered to voice Rex the dinosaur. Even though, despite all the casting choices being fitted into the right ways of what I can imagine, I felt a bit left-handed of what I can imagine. I also understood that Mike Myers was originally going to voice... Wait, Mike Mike Myers. I've heard of a rumor that that let me just gay. All I can say is that the Prospector was originally going to make an appearance in the first movie as the main antagonist in one of the original versions of that draft, where Mike Myers would have played Stinky Pete. And then I heard some rumor that Robin Williams was going to play Emperor Zurg, and then I understand where Buzz would get recalled and get sent to Taiwan, and have to go on a rescue mission that was led by Woody and his pals with the help of Jesse, voiced by that rumored Kate Winslet. But I understood that despite everything being packed up in a package, this movie got released on November 19th, 1995 at the Capitan Theatre on a running time of 81 minutes on a budget of $30 million. It skyrocketed up to a box office success of $394.4 million, which ultimately received some universally strong acclaim in what lots of people gave it a 100% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. They praised the technical innovation of the 3D animated screenplay, musical score, and vocal performances, particularly Hanks and Allen, but it's considered to be one of the best animated films ever made. It received 3 Academy Award nominations: Best Original Screenplay, which is the first film that was animated to be nominated for that award, Best Original Song for You Got a Friend of Me, and Best Original Score, as well as honoring a Special Achievement Academy Award, which later got a selection for preservation in the U.S. National Film Registry by Library and Constitution, being culturally, historically, and especially significant. Even though it would then spawn 3 sequels like Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, and Toy Story 4, as well as the ill-fated Lightyear spin-off. That for some reason I felt aware that there are some awkward ideas of what this movie took. This movie is like a spiritual successor to Brave Little Toaster, except for the fact that Woody has always been depicted as a ventriloquist dummy with a pull string, and there were loads of interesting ideas of what the concept of what I understood. I understood that there were loads of actors that got rejected from being involved in Toy Story, like Jason Alexandra, Dan Aykroyd, Matthew Broderick, who would go on to be involved in Inspector Gadget, Kevin Costner, Michael J. Fox, Richard Gere, David Hasselhoff, as well as Bill Paxton, Dennis Quaid, Kurt Russell, Adam Sandler, John Travolta, were all rejected for unknown reasons. Even though John Cleese was originally involved in Toy Story 2, he had to step down due to his commitment to Rat Race, as well as Clint Eastwood wasn't really interested in portraying Woody at one point. And for some reason, it felt a bit minorish, but I noticed that Michael Keaton would be involved in Toy Story 3 as Ken, as well as Keanu Reeves as Duke. But I understood I liked the soundtrack, and it's edited in pre-release with the help of Lee Unkrich from that September 1995 deadline. I'd say this movie was pretty unique, and it also featured the short Roller Coaster Rabbit, and it was also shown in March 1996 in Berlin, Germany. Although it was shown in the film festival, in the Berlin International Film Festival from February 15 to 26, 1996. Even though it's quite interesting that they loved this type of movie, I appreciate the reception of this movie. I liked the impact and legacy and the catchphrase, to infinity and beyond. And you know what they all learned about from? I felt so happy about what to do. But I'd say I give Toy Story mainly just a solidly decent 8.1 out of 10. There. That's how I got my film right. Even though my neck is hurting, I have to have my tea now, so bye-bye.